All right, welcome. It's the first inaugural episode of the Eco Cafe podcast. I'm Lee J, and we're here to bring you the stories of the international community developing in Tashkent. So why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourself to us today?
Hey everyone, my name is Gareth. I'm originally from South Africa, and I'm new in Tashkent as a music teacher at an international school.
So I was going to say that's what brought you to Tashkent, your music teacher.
Yeah.
And have you been doing that before you came to Tashkent, or is this your first time as a music teacher?
No, I've done music education before. I took a break for about, well, I'm going to mean a break. I kind of shifted gears and went into more performance stuff for about from 2018. COVID happened to kind of, just put a span in the works there. But I've kind of always shifted between former producer, educator, tour manager, going backwards and forth between those things.
So wonderful. So you'd say you were also working as a professional musician?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of consider myself a professional musician first before educator, but education has been part of my career journey.
And is this your first location being a teacher, or you taught other countries before?
I have taught in other countries. I've been in Namibia where I've taught as well. But I would say that's probably the second country that I've been hired to teach.
So I saw you give us a performance earlier. Hopefully you'll have a chance to see that too. So how many instruments can you play?
At the moment, I could say, I mean, saxophone is my main instrument, because I can properly play. But I've definitely learned 12 different instruments.
Wow.
Yeah, from woodwind, brass, string, and some percussion instruments. I love learning the different instruments because as a producer, composer, arranger, I want to be able to get inside the heads of people that play those instruments professionally, be able to write for them and produce for them. And it's just also fun. Love exploring instruments.
Of course. I say I like to sing and dance, but I'm neither a good singer or dancer. So I say I'm more of a performer, but I'm also a teacher. Obviously, this is my sixth country I've taught in as a teacher.
Wow,
so I'm just curious, what would you say to people who want to start their international teaching career?
Wow, I don't know if I can really give that much advice. It's always hard giving advice when it's always coming from your own perspective. I think open-mindedness is probably one of them, and just doing the research, knowing like why you want to do it, why do you want to go abroad, because if you understand those aspects, it's going to make you want to approach the job in a certain way. If you're escaping something, or you're just looking for this or whatever, that can negatively affect what you want to do, right? Definitely the open-mindedness, and just really know where are you going to. So if you're choosing a certain country that's maybe there's a certain climate you're just not don't actually enjoy or can't really acclimate to, it should be that's your choice, right? So this is all those things. Understanding yourself, understanding why, and being open to it, I guess.
Fantastic. What brought you to Tashkent specifically?
Tashkent. More just serendipity, I guess. That's all I can really say. It's just the job opened up. Look at the situation. Like it looks interesting to explore. I like learning about different countries, and this offer came up. I thought, this is a different place, a different kind of cultural vibe, and not usually explored by people outside of the Central Asia region. But let's go explore.
Exactly the same thing happened to me. I was this close from going to China myself. I was doing all the paperwork, and anybody who's tried to apply for a job in China, there's most paperwork, right? But then at the last minute, right when I finished my Chinese paperwork, I found this opportunity in Tashkent, and same thing. I've always been very interested in Central Asia.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So I guess question for you then is, aside from teaching, how would you encourage someone who wants to learn instruments or become a musician? Maybe if they're young or even if they're older.
Encourage them.
Yeah. What would be a good place to start for someone who wants to pursue music?
Curiosity is a big one. You got to really want it. Again, with advice, it's very hard to really give it from my perspective. But it's about curiosity. You've got to really want it and really love what it is, and then just go and do it. That's what I found from all the teachers that I've had. It's also been about you've got to be able to look at a piece of music and why does that work? Listen to the instrument, like I want to be able to sound like that, or like there's something about that instrument that can bring out a certain creative idea within me. And that really comes from a certain kind of introspection. You can say, I play because it's fun or something, but it's really person to person, right? So, before you want to go into the whole thing about playing an instrument, you got to want it. You got to be curious. You got to really enjoy it. Sometimes you might not know unless you try it. So it's also just kind of being open-minded to just giving things a shot. The only other advice is we always hear about the same things, and if you're on YouTube, you can hear thousands of interviews, people saying the same thing, and you can have all the advice you want. But some of the stuff that you hear constantly is that it's like practicing in a way that you enjoy it, constantly trying to improve yourself.
And that's why I wanted to start this series, is because obviously everybody who's an expat certainly has, I feel like, has certainly had their own unique experience in their journey that brought them here. So I was going to say, you've been here rather recently?
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. So I feel like I've been here since August.
Okay.
So, so you're enjoying yourself here so far. What do you like the most, even though you've only been here 2 weeks, what do you like the most about Tashkent so far?
Well, it's definitely feels safer than other places I've lived in.
Yes. I believe I remember reading the U.S. State Department said that the Central Asian countries are actually some of the safest countries in the world. So that's an interesting fact to know.
It is an interesting fact to know, and it's definitely just mentally, it just takes a lot of weight off your shoulders. Where in places where you have lived, you feel like, I can actually breathe.
Yeah.
So there is that one kind of thing. And Tashkent is like it's become a modern city like anywhere else, really. I don't really see massive differences much anymore. Someone that's traveled also a lot of places in the world. You get everything, particularly with the internet and digital technology. It's all very similar, but at the same time, you're seeing historical sites or certain architectural structures are different, language different. I've never lived in a place where Russian or the alphabet is used. Yeah. So that's the thing that I'm just used to seeing that around. But it's been really nice, very interesting. And as I go, obviously my opinions will grow more about the place, and I get to understand both the good and the bad. Of course, every place has the pro and the con. And how long do you plan on staying here, do you think? I do not know. I definitely probably July 2025. Let's see how it goes from there. I'm the same way. My contract ends May 25th. Who knows what's going to happen next? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Well, I know you have a place to go, so thank you for your time. Thanks a lot. Thanks. And thanks for watching Eco Cafe Podcast. Great. Thank you. Cool.